Another very interesting statistics. Gartner last year, they looked at they made a research last year, and they came out with the fact that 2% of the world's emissions are driven through IT or communications. And you might think 2% is not as much, it's actually as much as the airline industry. So the challenge that we all face is that in the data center, we're using a lot of electricity. About half of that electricity is for cooling only, and 40% is for idling servers that don't compute anything; they just sit there, wait to be used. Only 10% is actual usage. So this is green IT. Green IT is about energy efficiency of the data center. That's 2% of, or that's part of those 2%. The unique situation in which SAP is that we can not only tackle the 2% because we have services to help people virtualize servers and consolidate IT infrastructure. We can actually help them with the other 98% too. And that puts the SAP in a very unique position, right? Because we look at business processes across the board, not just how you map them in your data center. And that brings this new and additional perspective. And that would what puts SAP into the sweet spot of tackling the issue. Third, I want to talk a little bit, before we do questions and answers, about organizational setup. Because for us to do both, manage our own targets internally and deliver solutions that help our customers manage their objectives, the setup is the following. What we do is we run sustainability across all board areas, all business areas. It could be sales, it could be service, it could be development, marketing. All business functions now have a leader in those business areas that is driving sustainability in that area. And these leaders all have a dual reporting line to me and the leader of the business area. So for example, there's someone who's now reporting to our COO, the guy who runs internal operations at SAP, and that person has a dual reporting line to the COO and to me, and that person drives our sustainability operation. There is someone in the field who drives sustainability sales, reporting at the end of the day to Bill McDermott in charge of sales and to me for sustainability. And in this way we have embedded the sustainability functions into the business. We didn't create a parallel organization, we embedded it in the business. And that, we believe, puts us into a good position to actually do this execution. There's one element I want to highlight as well. I've run a lot of projects in SAP, and this one also started as a project. It's never been easier to recruit people internally for a project, because what sustainability does, it touches your mind and your heart. And it's great to engage people. They are proud to work for SAP. They're proud that we're tackling this challenge. And they understand we have a great lever, and it really is motivating. The final words, I often get the question, so I might just answer it right away. Why now? And maybe that's the closing comment. What we have seen is, in the last 5 years, I would say, 3 big trends have merged. We've always had business networks, so business gets more and more networked, but we have reached a tipping point. Today, half of the businesses have major business functions done by a partner. Could be marketing, could be call centers, could be production, manufacturing. It's outsourced, everything gets connected. That's number one. The problem with that is that people don't have the visibility to actually look into those supply chains. So if someone puts lead onto a toy in your supply chain, that might happen somewhere in China. You don't know about this, but your brand gets the damage if word gets out. Yeah? That's number one. The second is, from an environmental and social perspective, we have resource scarcity, and we have very, very high price volatility. And that's really what businesses struggle with. Oil last year, $140 per barrel. Today, 40, 45. They all say as soon as the economy picks back up, the price is going to just jump up again. So you need to have more resource efficiency in order to not be exposed so much to this volatility. And finally, from a social perspective, the awareness of people around the globe to all questions around social or environmental issues is so high, and the internet provides us with the connectivity, so news travels fast. So the pressure from consumers and customers onto businesses to report out on their performance, so that the businesses must take accountability, that's really new. And if you take all these things, everything's connected, we are running into environmental and social issues that actually lead to more regulation by the state. And that is really a headache for businesses because there's so much regulation now and everything's global, so you need to comply to everything. And finally, the strong awareness of consumers and customers to all those questions, they create the mix and make this a mandate for organizations to tackle today. So that's the question, why is this so interesting right now?